Welcome to Science Store online classes.
Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.
Dear students, welcome back to biology online classes. The chapter what we are discussing is about reproduction in organisms. In that we are dealing with CET and NEET. So take out your worksheet number 1 where you have finished already 12 questions. Let's move to question number 13. Choose the correct statement from among the following. Okay. Option A, dioecious hermaphrodite organisms are seen only in animals. Dioecious organisms are seen only in plants. Dioecious organisms are seen both plants and animals. Dioecious organisms are seen both in plants and animals. Okay. So that is the right option, option C. So many of the flowering plants are dioecious. Actually the dioecious means it is sexes are separate. Monoecious means bisexual, hermaphrodite. So in case of humans, you see the condition as dioecious, sexes are separate. Male individuals are separate and female individuals are separate. You take an example of earthworm, it is hermaphrodite, monoecious, where both the male sex organs and female sex organs are present in the same worm. You take example from plant kingdom, hibiscus flower, Dasavada, it has got both the sex organs, male and female sex organs in the same flower. So the flower is bisexual. But if you take the example of monoecious plants like date palms, papaya, spinach, asparagus, these are all examples for monoecious plants. Okay, that means they are unisexual plants. Okay, we will move to question number 14. There is no natural death in single celled organisms like amoeba and bacteria because, why? There is no natural death because parental body is distributed among the offspring. Okay, so binary fission which results in the culmination of the parental generation and beginning of the next generation. Okay. Between the mother cell okay, the mother cell does not die in this process after it gets divided into two daughter cells. After the parental cell gets divided into two daughter cells, the mother cell will not die. So parental body is distributed among the offsprings. Question number 15. There are various types of reproduction. The type of reproduction adopted by an organism depends on A, the habitat and morphology of the organism. Habitat means the place where the organism lives. Okay, and morphology of the organism, so the external features, characters of organism. B, morphology only of the organism. C, morphology and physiology, internal functioning, physiology. Or D, the organism's habitat, the place where it lives, its physiology and the genetic makeup, all. So it depends upon the organism's habitat, its physiology, okay, as well as the genetic makeup. That is the right option, option D. So the type of reproduction which is adopted by an organism, it depends upon its habitat, physiology and genetic makeup. The habitat determines the type of reproduction. Like if the organism lives in a habitat, say, which favors the mating, reproduction, or promotes cross fertilization, okay, or say cross pollination, anthers from one flower to the stigma of another flower, or one plant flower of one plant to another plant's flower. It undergoes sexual reproduction, correct? So while if the habitat supports self pollination, means if both the sex organs are present in the same flower, then the anthers of the same flower will fall onto the stigma of the same flower. So it induces a self pollination, okay, self pollination, and restricts the mating, okay. Asexual reproduction takes place. If the habitat supports self pollination and restricts the mating, asexual reproduction takes place. If the mating is restricted, then asexual reproduction takes. It depends upon what type of habitat it is. It depends upon the genetic makeup. It depends upon the physiology. Okay, whether asexual reproduction or whether it is a sexual reproduction. If it is sexual reproduction, whether it is self-pollination or self-fertilization, or maybe a cross-fertilization or cross-pollination. Okay. So habitat, it depends upon in what place they are living in. Physiology is also a very important determining factor for the sexual reproduction to occur. Okay, and it depends. It determines whether it is a sexual or asexual reproduction. For example, if the male and female sexual organs are there, if they are mature at a different time, then the unfertilized gametes develop into individual by parthenocarpy. Male gamete mature over time ಬೇರೆ, female gamete mature over time ಬೇರೆ. So then there is every chance of parthenocarpy. Fertilization can be avoided. Okay, that means seedless fruits can be produced. That chances is there. So parthenocarpy, it is a form of asexual reproduction, or maybe parthenogenesis in case of say animal kingdom, in case of honeybees. You know, honeybee colony, they have females and they have drones which are called males. Okay, so the males, the drones which are produced by unfertilized egg in case of honeybee colony by a process called as parthenogenesis, a type of asexual reproduction where there is involvement of only a single individual, but there is formation of gamete. The egg is formed which is unfertilized by the male sperms, so it is a parthenogenesis. So it depends upon the physiological condition of the body. If suppose the male and the female reproductive organs are mature at the same time, okay, then there is always chance of sexual reproduction to takes place, to occur. So it depends upon the physiology also. Then genetic makeup also plays an important role to determine the type of reproduction. Now, if the somatic cells are there, body cells, that will favor the asexual reproduction, while if there are germ cells or the sex cells, that will favor the sexual mode of reproduction. So it also depends upon what kind of cells it is, the physiology, whether it is a somatic cell or whether it is a germ cell. Okay, so that is about question number 15. The answer is option D. Let's move to question number 16. Identify the incorrect statement. Which of the following is incorrect statement? Okay. In sexual reproduction, the offspring produced are morphologically and genetically identical to the parent. Is it? In sexual reproduction, morphologically as well as genetically identical to the parent. B. Zoospores are sexual reproductive structures. Identify the incorrect. In sexual reproduction, the offspring produced are morphologically, nodally and genetically identical to the parent. That should be in asexual reproduction. So make it asexual reproduction. Cloning. So that is the correct statement. Zoospores are sexual reproductive structures. Actually, zoospores are the asexual spores. So, asexual reproduction usually takes place in the unicellular organisms, in the single-celled organisms. By various ways you have studied. It may be by binary fission, or it may be by budding, or maybe sporulation, that is spore formation irbodu. So in this method, a single parent involves, produces the offspring with or maybe without the involvement of the gametes. Okay, so members of the say kingdom fungi or kingdom mycota, and there are simple plants, they reproduce through special reproductive structures, what you have studied already in theory, like say conidia, formation of conidia, for example in case of Penicillium ascomycetes, or maybe formation of buds, case of yeast, or maybe in case of hydra. Okay, so the most common of the structure is zoospores. That is one of the asexual mode of reproduction. So that are nothing but the microscopic and motile structures. Motile because they have flagella. Through flagella they can make the movement. So they are the motile asexual spores. These are called as the zoospores. It is not a sexual spores. So identify the incorrect statement. That is B is the incorrect one. See, in asexual reproduction, a single parent produces offspring with or without the formation of gametes. Asexual reproduction usually gamete formation ಆಗ್ತದ ಇಲ್ವಾ, ಆಗುದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಬಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಥೆನೋಜೆನೆಸಿಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಬೈ ಸಿಂಗಲ್ ಪ್ಯಾರೆಂಟ್, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಸೊ ವಿತ್ ಆರ್ ವಿದೌಟ್ ದ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟ್ಸ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಕೊನಿಡಿ ಆರ್ ದ asexual reproduction structures in Penicillium, that is also correct. ಸೊ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ನೀವು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಇನ್ ಸೆಕ್ಷುವಲ್ ರಿಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಇನ್ ಅಸೆಕ್ಷುವಲ್ ರಿಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ದ ಆಫ್ಸ್ಪ್ರಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಆರ್ ಮಾರ್ಫಾಲಜಿಕಲಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಕಲ್ ಟು ದ ಪ್ಯಾರೆಂಟ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ದ option B. Okay, what do you call the organisms which are produced by asexual reproduction, which are morphologically and genetically similar to the parent and to among themselves? They are called as clones. They are called as clones. Okay, next, which of the following is a post fertilization event in the flowering plants? Okay, now you see the question number 16. Identify the incorrect statement. A, you don't change to asexual reproduction, because here the statement is incomplete. In sexual reproduction, the offspring produced are morphologically and genetically identical to the parent ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. And among themselves ಕೂಡ ಆಗಬೇಕು, ಅದು ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. Correct. So in sexual reproduction, the offsprings produced are morphologically and genetically identical to the parent. That is also incorrect statement if you do not change the statement. If you change the statement and if you make it asexual reproduction, then the option B only correct. Okay, you change the, better change the option, make it, strike it off sexual, or you add just A there, and in asexual reproduction you make it identical to the parent as well as to themselves. Also write the sentence as well as to themselves. Okay, next we'll move to question number 17. Which of the following is a post fertilization event in flowering plants? ಈ ಫ್ಲವರಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು ಯಾವುದು ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಇವೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಆದ ಮೇಲೆ ಆಗುವಂಥ ಇವೆಂಟ್ ಯಾವುದು ಅಂತ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಎ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಆಫ್ ಪೋಲನ್ ಗ್ರೈನ್ಸ್, ಬಿ ಎಂಬ್ರಿಯೋ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ಸಿ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಫ್ಲವರ್, ಡಿ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಪೋಲನ್ ಗ್ರೈನ್ಸ್. ಯಾವುದು ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ? ಸೊ ರೈಟ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಈಸ್ ಎಂಬ್ರಿಯೋ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಸೊ events in the sexual reproduction after the fertilization are called as post-fertilization events. What they are called as? Post-fertilization events. So after the fertilization, there is a zygote, isn't it? The diploid zygote, it is formed in all sexually reproducing organisms. Do you agree? Yes, there is the formation of a diploid zygote in all sexually reproducing organisms. So the process of development of embryo from the diploid zygote, that is called as embryogenesis. I have given the question for midterm, embryogenesis. So if you follow a particular sequence, you can see first is the formation of a flower. Flower is nothing but the modified shoot. It is the reproductive organ in case of plants. Then there will be formation of the pollen grains, the male gametophyte. Then the transfer of these pollen grains, then fertilization, then the embryo development of the embryo takes place. So this event has to be followed. So the right option is, for question number 17, it is option B. Okay, next coming to question number 18. The number of chromosomes in the shoot tip cells of a maize plant is 20. Shoot tip nalli ಎಷ್ಟು chromosome ಉಂಟಂತೆ 20 ಉಂಟಂತೆ. Okay. The number of chromosomes in the microspore mother cells of the same plant shall be. Microspore mother cells of the same plant nalli ಎಷ್ಟು ಇರ್ತದೆ? It should be 20 only, option A. Why? Because if it is the microspore maize plant shoot tip nalli ಇರೋದಾದ್ರೆ first microspore mother cells, it is diploid. The shoot tip which is diploid. So 2n is equal to 20. So microspore mother cell is also diploid. 2n is equal to 20. ಆದರೆ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಸ್ಪೋರೋಜೆನೆಸಿಸ್ ಆಗುವಾಗ ಅಂದರೆ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಸ್ಪೋರ್ ಟೆಟ್ರಾಡ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಗುವಾಗ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಿಯೋಸಿಸ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ದೇರ್ ದ ಮಿಯೋಸಿಸ್ ಟೇಕ್ಸ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್. ಸೊ ನೌ ದ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಸ್ಪೋರ್ಸ್ that are haploid in number. So that is n is equal to 10. My point? So microspore mother cell ಅಲ್ಲಿ 20 ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಅದರ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಸ್ಪೋರ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಗುವಾಗ 10 ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಮಿಯೋಸಿಸ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. So question number 19. Now a clone is, what do you mean by a clone? Group of genetically similar organisms produced through asexual reproduction. Correct? So option is option A. Group of genetically similar organisms produced through asexual reproductions. They are called as clones. They are called as clones. Okay, let me move to the next question. Question number 20. Markensia is considered as a heterothallic plant. Why? Because it is dioecious. It is dioecious. Andre sexes are separate. Sexes are separate. You can see Markensia is a fern, isn't it? Belongs to bryophytes. So there are two different gametophytes are present. Male gametophyte matte female gametophyte. We studied in first PUC plant kingdom chapter. So male gametophyte, it bears the antheridiaphore and it has a disc which produces antheridium, and this antheridium produces the antherozoids, male gametes. Similarly, female gametophyte is different. It bears archegoniophore, okay, archegonium bearing structure, archegonium 4, and it bears archegonium, which is a flash shaped structure, and inside the archegonium there is a female gamete, that is the egg. So the antherozoids fuses with the egg, and that fusion results in the formation of a zygote, and that zygote will develop into a sporophytic plant, and this sporophytic plant is having put seta and capsule, and it is embedded within the female gametophyte. So gametophyte is the free living independent phase in case of bryophytes, example Markensia, whereas the sporophyte depends on the gametophyte. So it is a depending stage in the life cycle of the bryophytes, for example in Markensia. Okay, so Markensia is considered as a heterothallic plant because it is dioecious. Okay, let's move to question number 21. Match the vegetative propagules listed under column 1 with the plants given under column 2. Column 1 ನಲ್ಲಿ vegetative propagules ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, column 2 ನಲ್ಲಿ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ examples ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Choose the appropriate option from the given choices. You have to choose the appropriate options from the given choices. Rhizome ಅಂದ ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೆ ಬರೋದು? Rhizome ಯಾವುದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದು? In the ginger, it is a underground stem modification. Then comes offset. Offset ಬರೋದು ಐಕಾರ್ನಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ. ಐಕಾರ್ನಿಯಾ is a water hyacinth. isn't it? Terror of Bengal, you studied. So it is aquatic plant, hydrophyte. So it has got short nodes and internodes, and from the nodal region it forms rosettes of leaves, and the group of the roots which develops from the base, and these roots are having what parenchyma tissue, and that helps for maintaining buoyancy or floating for these aquatic plants. These are the hydrophytes. Students, okay. Next, just see here. Sucker you can see in case of chrysanthemum, sevantige hoo, banana, pineapple, chrysanthemum, all these are examples for suckers. So where there is a main axis, parental axis, which develops beneath the surface of the soil, and from that a lateral branch arises which grows horizontally to certain distance and arches upwards, and if it touches the soil, a new plant will develop from that region. So this is an example for sucker. Examples: banana, pineapple, and the chrysanthemum, andre sevantige. Next, leaf buds. You see in case of leaf of say bryophyllum, so they have buds in their margin of the leaves, which acts like a vegetative propagules. This gets detached from the main parent body, from the leaves, and which falls on the soil and germinates and forms a new plant. So that is a mode of vegetative propagation. Then what is agave? Agave is a plant where you can see presence of bulb-like structures. If it is a branch and if it is a main axis and it is a branch, there is an axial, the formation of bulb-like structure. This is called as the bulbil, which acts like a vegetative propagules. When it attaches, when this bulbil, which is found at the axial of the stem or the axial of the leaves, then it detaches from the main plant, and when it falls on the soil, it will grow into a new plant. So it is also a mode of vegetative propagation. See case of agave, that the structure is called as bulbils. So the right option is option 3. A is R, B is T, C is S, and D is Q. Students, let's move to next question. There is question number 22. In ginger, vegetative propagation occurs through ginger. I said it is rhizome. What is the scientific name of a ginger? Zingiber officinale. What is the scientific name of ginger? Ginger's scientific name is Zingiber officinale. So they have rhizome with the nodes and the internodes, correct? From the nodes arises the axillary buds, which will develop into a new plant. Offset you can see in case of Jussia, Pistia, Eichhornia, Hydrilla, water hyacinth, Hydrilla, then Nilumbo, Oleander, Nilumbo, this lotus. So different aquatic plants, you can see offsets. Bulbils, just now explained, present in agave. Runners, what are runners? There are horizontal stem which run all along the length of the soil, which are having nodes and internodes. And it touches the soil, these runners touches the soil, and it forms a new plant. Okay, so that can be seen in case of strawberries, grass, then centella, that is timere, ondelaga, centella, oxalis. These are all the examples for the runners. We studied in first PUC morphology of flowering plants. Runners, rhizome is underground stem modification. Offset is subaerial stem modification. Bulbils is aerial stem modification. Runners, once again it is subaerial stem modification. Let's move to question number 23. Which of the following pairs is not correctly matched? ಒಂದು ಕಾಲಮ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಮೋಡ್ ಆಫ್ ರಿಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಮತ್ತೊಂದರಲ್ಲಿ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಆಫ್ಸೆಟ್ ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೆ? ವಾಟರ್ ಹಯಾಸಿಂತ್, ಅದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ರೈಸೋಮ್ ಬನಾನಾ, ಬನಾನಾದಲ್ಲಿ ರೈಸೋಮ್ ಕೂಡ ಇದೆ, ಸಕ್ಕರ್ ಕೂಡ ಇದೆ, ಸರಿಯಾ? Then what is a rhizome? Rhizome is just like a sucker. See, there is a main axis, and from the base of the main axis, see, this is above the surface of the soil, okay, and lateral outgrowth arises, which grows upwards, makes an arch, and again this arch will touches the soil surface, and from where a new plant is produced. So this is an example for what? A rhizome. Rhizome. Sorry, it's not a rhizome, sorry, very sorry. This is example for stolon. Rhizome, let's see, you can see in case of gingers. They are having nodes and internodes. From the nodal region arises adventitious roots, and from here the scaly leaves start to arise. There are buds called as axillary buds. So that is example for your rhizome. So rhizome in banana. Rhizome in banana. Which of the following is not correctly matched? That is also not a correct match. Binary fission in sargassum is also not a correct match. Conidia in penicillium is, yes, of course, a correct match. So we'll go for option 2 as well as option 3 as the incorrect match. See, sargassum, it is a type of brown algae which is mainly found in Atlantic, Sargasso Sea. Okay, so this sargassum, in the sargassum, the reproduction occurs through asexual spores. Okay, and sexual reproduction maybe takes place by 3 methods, maybe isogamy, anisogamy, or isogamy, anisogamy, or oogamy. Isogamy means fusion of similar gametes, anisogamy means fusion of different gametes, and oogamy also means fusion of 2 different gametes where male gamete is motile and the female gamete is larger and static, non-motile. Okay, so these are the mode of sexual reproduction in case of algae. Sargassum is the brown algae. You can see vegetative reproduction takes place by fragmentation, by the formation of fragments. Each fragment can give rise to new algal body. Okay. What is the algal body is called as? The algal body is called as the thallus. It's called as thallus. So which of the following pairs is not correctly matched? 2 and 3 are not correctly matched. Okay. Okay, now banana, see, banana is stolon. Banana is sucker. Okay, banana is sucker. It is given in NCERT first year PUC book. But if you see NCERT second year PUC book, it is given rhizome. So whether it is given sucker in first PUC, whether it is correct, or it is given rhizome in second PUC, whether it is correct, both are correct. So banana cannot be an option. Only the binary fission, that is sargassum, that is the incorrect one. Binary fission will not take place in sargassum. That is vegetative propagation can take place. Asexual reproduction can take place by spore formation, or sexual reproduction maybe takes place by either isogamy, anisogamy, or oogamy. See, in case of banana, it has a reduced underground stem. You can call it as a reduced underground stem, and that reduced underground stem in banana, it is called as the rhizome. Okay, so it bears several buds. In the rhizome, it bears several buds. Each of these buds will sprouts and form its pseudo stem, after sprouting it forms what? Pseudostem. Pseudo means false. Okay, and new bulbous rhizome is formed. From that, new bulbous rhizome is formed. So these daughter plants, they are called as the suckers. Now you identify, now you understand the process. So these daughter plants are called as suckers. So if it is the banana plant, in banana there is a small underground stem is there. The small underground stem, that is called as the rhizome. Okay, and this stem is having nodes. Okay, so the nodes having buds. These buds will sprouts. Okay, and they forms a pseudo stem, false stem it will form. Okay, and a new bulbous rhizome is formed. New bulbous rhizome is formed from this pseudo stem. Okay, so these daughter plants, which are the pseudo rhizomes, which are the bulbous rhizomes, and they will develop into plants, and they are called as the suckers. So rhizome as well as suckers are both the mode of vegetative propagation in case of banana. So rhizome as well as suckers both are correct. Okay. So rhizome here is a stem, underground stem, small stem. It is having nodes and internodes. Nodes having buds. Buds will sprouts and forms pseudo stem, false stem, and this pseudo stem is a new rhizome. It is a new bulbous rhizome, and this plant, these daughter plants which are developed from the main rhizome, they are called as the suckers. Very, very important question for the exam. Okay. So rhizome in the buds sprout aitu forms the pseudo rhizome, and this the pseudo stem, and new bulbous rhizome is formed. This pseudo stem forms the bulbous rhizome. Okay, and that bulbous rhizomes, these daughter plants are called as the suckers. Okay, we'll move to question number 24. The chromosome number in meiocyte is 34. Then the organism could be 1 Ophioglossum, 2 dog, 3 onion, 4 apple. Chromosome number meiocyte ನಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ? 34 ಇದೆ ಅಂತೆ. So the organism could be ಯಾವುದು? What is a meiocyte? Meiocytes are nothing but the gamete mother cells. What are meiocytes? Meiocytes are the gamete mother cells. Where is this? Meiocytes. They are the gamete mother cells. So what is the ploidy of gamete mother cells? It is diploid. The ploidy is, it is the diploid. So the diploid agide. So can you give examples for this gamete mother cells? Primary spermatocytes, oocytes, primary spermatocytes. You have studied in the process of spermatogenesis. They are diploid, 2n. So they will undergo meiosis and form secondary spermatocytes, then spermatids, then sperms. Also, so primary spermatocyte is 2n. Similarly, oocytes, this is also diploid, 2n. So in case of mammals, primary spermatocytes, oocytes, these are all the gamete mother cells, which are called as meiocytes, and the meiocytes are diploid. So what are haploid cells? The cells which are having half the number of initial chromosomes, or half the number of chromosomes which are present in the mother, that is called as haploid cells. So those with the double number of chromosomes, then they are called as the diploid cells. So the apple, in case of apple they ask, right? So chromosomes in meiocytes is 34. So that is in apple. So in apple it is 2n is equal to 34. So n will be 17 haploid number. Similarly, you take what is the next one there again? Ophioglossum. So in case of Ophioglossum, it is a fern. 2n is equal to 1260. So then n becomes 630. Correct? That is in case of Ophioglossum. They asked. Then in case of dog, you see. Okay, dog. 2n is equal to 78. Then n becomes 34. So n becomes 39. So that is in case of dog. Then they asked about onion. In case of onion, the chromosome number diploid 2n is equal to 32. So n becomes 16. So this is also marked as most important question, marked as very important question. Right. Okay, we'll move to question number 25. Which among these is not a post-fertilization event? ಇವುಗಳಲ್ಲಿ post fertilization event ಯಾವುದು ಅಲ್ಲ? B is not. Gametogenesis means formation of gametes. It occurs before the fertilization. Seed formation, embryogenesis, formation of the embryo happens. Then seed formation, fruit formation, all takes place after the fertilization. Those are the post-fertilization events. So gametogenesis is not a post-fertilization event. So the right option is option 2. Okay. So embryogenesis is followed by the seed formation and it will follow the fruit formation. Okay. Then question number 26, offsprings formed during sexual reproduction exhibit more variation than those formed by asexual method. Why? Because here the genetic material comes from two different individuals. Option B. This question is in continuation to question number 12. Move back to question number 12. This question is in continuation to question number 12. So what is the question number 12 says? Offspring formed by the sexual reproduction exhibit more than those formed by asexual reproduction because gametes of parents have qualitatively different genetic composition. So it is related to that question. So next we will move to question number 27. Which one of the following generates new genetic combinations leading to variation? New genetic combination ಯಾವುದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತದೆ? That will lead to the variation. Of course, it is only the sexual mode of reproduction. So option 1 is the right option for 27. That is A. Then what is nucellar polyembryony? This is important. Nucellar polyembryony andre, it is the type of seed formation. It is a type of seed formation. Okay. So in which the nucellar cells are present. Okay. So nucellar cells are present in the embryo, correct? It divides and forms many more embryos. So suppose if it is a embryo sac, it is the female gametophyte. Surrounding the embryocytes, there are nucellus. The ploidy of this nucellus, 2n, that is diploid. So this is the nucellus. The nucellus is a nutritive tissue which surrounds the embryo sac. Embryo sac is nothing but the female gametophyte. So this nucellar cells will directly divide, okay, and it forms the embryos. So the nucellar cells is a type of seed formation. Nucellar polyembryony means it is a type of seed formation in which the nucellar cells that present in the embryo divide and form many more embryos. They will form many more embryos. Okay. So these are the exactly similar to that of parents. So you can call them as the clones. Okay. Because they are produced from the nucellar cells, their ploid is also diploid. These embryos are diploid. Cells are also diploid. So nuclear polyembryony is seen in citrus family. You can see in case of citrus family. So polyembryony means formation of many embryos. So many embryos are formed directly from the nucellus. There is no fusion of male gamete with the female gamete, with the egg cell, and then formation of the embryo. That is not there. In citrus family, you can see polyembryony, so that many embryos will be formed. Citrus is the best example. Citrus family. Next question number 28. Which one of the following statement is not correct? Statement yavadu correct alla. C. In potato, banana and ginger, the plantlets, they arise from the internodes present in the modified stem. They arise from the nodes agಬೇಕು, internodes ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಲ್ಲ. Potato, banana, ginger, these are all rhizomes. The plantlets arise from the internodes, ಅಲ್ಲ, from the nodes present in the modified stem ಆಗಬೇಕು. Question number 2, water hyacinth growing in standing water drains the oxygen from the water that leads to the death of the fishes. It will increase the biological oxygen demand. Correct. So it is called as terror of Bengal. It is only find in case of standing water bodies. So it is a water hyacinth, that is the Eichhornia, growing in the standing water. So offspring produced by the asexual reproduction are called as clones because they are genetically and morphologically identical to themselves as well as to their parents. Then microscopic motile asexual reproductive structures are called as the zoospores. Exactly correct. Which can be found in case of lower plants as well as in algae. Let's move to question number 29. Which of the following is not a pre-fertilization events in higher organisms? Higher organisms ನಲ್ಲಿ pre-fertilization event ಯಾವುದು ಅಲ್ಲ? Gametogenesis is not, because gametogenesis means formation of the gametes occurs before the fertilization. Gamete transfer ಕೂಡ ಅಲ್ಲ, it also occurs before. Meiosis occurs. Okay, 1 minute. Which of the following is not a pre-fertilization events in higher organisms? Fertilization ಆಗುವ ಮೊದಲನ ಇವೆಂಟ್ ಯಾವುದು ಅಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ. ಗ್ಯಾಮಿಟೋಜೆನೆಸಿಸ್ ಮೊದಲನೇ ಇವೆಂಟ್, ಗ್ಯಾಮಿಟ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಆಗೋದು ಕೂಡ ಮೊದಲೇ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಮಿಯೋಸಿಸ್ ಕೂಡ ಮೊದಲೇ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಗ್ಯಾಮಿಟ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಗೋದು ಮಿಯೋಸಿಸ್ ಆದಮೇಲೆ. ಸರಿ, ಆದರೆ ಕ್ಲೀವೇಜ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು? ದ ಮೇಲ್ ಗ್ಯಾಮಿಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಫ್ಯೂಸಸ್ ವಿತ್ ದ ಫೀಮೇಲ್ ಗ್ಯಾಮಿಟ್. ಯು ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಸ್ಟಡಿಡ್ ಇನ್ sexual reproduction in humans. Adri zygote formation ಆಯಿತು, zygote is diploid. So the zygote will undergo the division. That division is called as the cleavage. Okay. So 29 ಗೆ right option is C. Cleavage ಆಗುವುದು fertilization ಆದ ಮೇಲೆ. So it is an example for post fertilization event and not an example for pre-fertilization event. Next question number 30. Amoeba is immortal because amoeba ಸತ್ತೋಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕೆ? Because parental body is distributed among the offsprings during the binary fission. Yes, parental body ಏನಿರ್ತದೆ ಅದು ಕೂಡ ಅದೇ offsprings ಅಲ್ಲಿ distribute ಆಗ್ತದೆ during the binary fission. So that is why, since the parental cells or mother cells are retained in the offsprings, amoeba is said to be immortal. It is microscopic. That is not the reason, because it reproduces by sexual method only. The sexual reproduction ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಉಂಟು? ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲ. It is multicellular, it is unicellular. So the right option is the option 1. So with this, students, we have completed the worksheet number 1 under the chapter reproduction in organisms, which is the first topic of the second PUC. Moderately important topic. Okay, we'll solve few more examples in our next session, in our next worksheet. Okay, so note down all the important points of my lecture and prepare your own notes for these competitive exams like CET and NEET, and take down all the important points which I have written on the board. And thank you, students, for watching the video.
Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.